Everything about Key West Keys Energy is special for FMPA. They're served off a 140-mile radial transmission line. They have a power plant that runs to back up that transmission line. And we're down here because Keys is one of the members of the ARP. Lynn is one of the longest serving board members for FMPA. She has a lot of knowledge about FMPA and about Keys and all that. Hey, Lynn.
Hey, Jacob. Thanks for coming down.
So our two big missions that you give us is to be low cost and reliable. Tell us about the cost and why that's important for you and especially your unique community here in Key West.
Well, I think Key West kind of has a reputation of being a wealthy city. But the reality is it's a very polarized city when it comes to financials, and there are a lot of people who are struggling. We have huge affordable housing issues and people who work multiple jobs. It's a tourist industry. So if you are a wait staff, if you work in a hotel, every penny counts. So having low cost energy is critical. AC is necessary. It's not a luxury. People need their AC and that adds to their cost.
Lynn wants us to go meet with Joe Queso, and Joe, as I understand it, he reviews the Keys energy budget every year for the chamber as one of the board members, and fascinating for someone who puts that kind of time in to understand the budget of Keys Energy. It'd be great to get to see his insights.
I've been the chairman for 7 years, and in that role, I review all the budgets, and our committee reviews all the budgets for all the utilities. And I know that in my reviews anyway, these folks do everything they can to keep the cost down.
Yeah, we were very pleased, working with FMPA. The costs went up, but then they also came down.
Yes.
And, we told our customers, here's what you can expect, here's how you can curtail some of those expenses.
They also watch in their budgeting, they account for the cold days. When they know the air conditioning's not going to be on so high, they watch those peaks and valleys. It's great. I rely heavily on the fact that you guys are there. I know that you're going to be there when we need you.
To hear that perspective from someone who's not in the business, but is used to auditing companies around the country, and he said, hey, I'm really impressed by what Keys Energy does here. Reliability has continued to improve over the years, and give me a bit of that story.
Okay. Well, reliability is so much both power supply and transmission and distribution. So we feel like power supply is in a great spot with all of our efforts between Keys and FMPA. We've been doing a lot of upgrades. It's an older line, aging infrastructure.
Yeah.
We have, re-insulated the entire line. We've added a lot of life jackets, and that's cathodic protection to all of those steel poles that are in the water up and down the Keys. So a lot of investment has gone into shoring up that transmission line so that we don't have any issues on it. There's a young lady named Carla who actually is the executive director of a nonprofit artistic cinema. It's called the Tropic Cinema. I think she'll tell a great story about the importance of reliability.
So Carla, tell us about the Tropic.
So the Tropic is a 3-screen nonprofit art house theater. Our mission is to provide film and stories through the art of film to the community that would not otherwise have an opportunity to see.
You come in the morning. What do you have to do to get the theater ready for the patrons to be here, and how important, what are the things that they need electricity for?
Yeah, power is so important at the Tropic. All of our projection equipment, we've got 3 different pieces of equipment that run very hot, so we have to make sure that those spaces are extremely cool. So, right. And we have so much power running here that it's, on surge protectors, and you have to go through the building and turn those all back on. When there's a small, quick power outage here, it takes so much for us to get it back up. We need to know, do we tell the patrons it'll be 10 minutes or it'll be 2 hours, which will dictate what they decide to do, stay or go.
And hopefully you don't have that conversation very often.
Not very often, no, I don't. But I think the most important thing is when there is a conversation like that, I have such quick response. Yeah. I know how I have to move forward, yeah.
It's interesting to meet with Carla in the relationship of being a not-for-profit theater. Very much fits the mindset of actually a municipal utility there to serve the patrons, and so they view them as a valuable partner in the community.
So FMPA has recently purchased Bartow, they purchased Mulberry, and able to use all of those, all of the inventory, all of the equipment from there is very interchangeable with our units here.
This past winter, we had the winter storm Fern, and that was a interesting period. How did the plant perform there, and what happened here at the plant, and how'd the guys do?
The plant performed very well. We had like 3 or 4 transmitters freeze up before that, but we were able to rectify the situation in the time to keep the plant online. We were back online within 2 hours.
You know, you've come on board. How does it feel to be working for an organization that serves 33 cities around the state?
It feels pretty good. We feel like there's a much bigger support group for our site. For example, I have 2 employees working down in Key West right now. They're helping build a pipe rack. It feels pretty good to know that we're part of a big environment and we have support and help when needed.
During Fern, it was great to see our plants at Mulberry and Bartow were actually critical.
Great forethinking. I mean, I don't think anyone could have really predicted the demand on capacity would just grow as exponentially as it did. So the idea that we got in right before that, what a great move. I think it's amazing what FMPA does. They are looking under every rock for ways that they can save money for FMPA, for the member cities, which trickles down to all the city's customers. The idea of trying to get uprated on all of the units. It's more cost effective. It's harder. It's more work, but that's the kind of thing that FMPA does. They put the time in, they come up with all of these sort of innovative things, whether it's financial or whether it's operational, and it's all in the name of saving money so that you can deliver low cost to us.
It's been great to come down here and spend time in Key West and to reflect back on how far things have come over the last 10 years. The teams are working together, they're growing together, how we've acquired our 3 new sites over the last couple of years, and those have allowed us to keep our costs down and plan for the next 2 decades for all the ARP members, and that other members are actually looking at joining the ARP, something that was unthinkable 10 years ago, and it's just affirmation of we're heading in the right direction.